let's get over to Chita to talk about what's happening outside, Chita.
Hey, good morning, guys. We are in weekend. Not only the freezing point, but we're talking hard freeze Sunday morning. Sunday morning is your day. Okay, this morning, though, we are starting off with some reduced visibility. No advisory in place, no real big changes here. We're down to 4 miles in Sugar Land, 2.5 miles there in Angleton. Notice visibilities even on the north side, 5 to 6 miles. It's not that bad. So again, no advisory. I don't think this is enough that's going to slow you down. The reason I'm carefully monitoring, temperatures are nearing the freezing point. We're down to 33 at IAH, 35 in Stafford, 35 in Sugar Land. So right now, for the most part, above the freezing point. Tomball checking in though at 30 degrees. So I thought, okay, could we have some freezing fog this morning? That was on the table. It doesn't look like it's materializing though. Not much fog across the board, and temperatures overall above. Wind is mostly calm, and notice the direction. It's all coming in from the southeast. That is going to change for your Thursday. Notice some clouds. Temperatures though into the mid-60s. Jen, that is average and acceptable for this time of the year. You
exactly.
Take it away.
A perfect day today to winterize your vehicle, right?
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Guaranteed.
Did they have windows in the Middle Ages?
Was the house burping back then?
I mean, all of the elders are like, this is old news. We've been doing this for years.
I know, and you may naturally do it. You just don't even know that you do it. You just open your door and then you leave it open for a little bit.
You didn't realize you were going viral with that
Yeah,
thing.
exactly. Hey, you're on trend. You're on trend.
Today's a good day for it.
Let
Today's
it
a
in
good
today.
day. Yeah, nice little hues to it. So I'll see if I can find one of our camera shots that has a picture of it for you this morning. We are starting off with visibility is not much of a problem. I say that is something that I'm going to watch this morning. There is the potential for a little bit of fog. Notice Sugar Land. Good morning. You're down to 4 miles. Pearland, you're down to 5 miles there. 5 in Conroe. I'm not finding a spot this morning where I think it's going to slow you down. Our temperatures are also right on the border of the freezing point. So notice 32 in Tomball. We have 36 this morning in Jersey Village. But all in all, again, temperatures still above the freezing point. So I think risk for some of that freezing fog is a little bit lower this morning. No advisory to tell you about, but something that I'll just be watching for you this morning. 35 in Stafford, 39 in Rice Military. Big picture, 28, so we are below freezing in Conroe, but that's the main spot. 32 in Tomball, but again, otherwise all above the freezing point. 516 for you. Winds are all overall mostly calm this morning, driving out of the southeast, and that's going to play a little bit of a factor with our clouds. Clouds are we're going to see a nice mixture of some clouds and sun throughout the day, partly cloudy through your midday. By the afternoon, you're heading into the mid-60s. I think we are all going to welcome that with open arms. Now, take a look. Boy, January has been all over the place. We started the month off well above average. Not only that, I mean, record-breaking for a stretch for that entire first week and a half. And then now we're going to end well below average. Remember, our average high right now is 65. So let me show you when the pattern changes yet again. Remember, we're in a nice stretch today. Tomorrow is kind of right on the border there, and then it's this upcoming weekend. So I'm pausing our future track Sunday. Sunday is when I'm expecting our temperatures to be at that hard freeze status. That will be the next big cold snap and really impacting the northeast. We get a little baby clip of that, but for us here locally, again, we're back down to the hard freeze Sunday morning. So you're going to want to prepare again, covering your plants. Think about your exposed pipes as we head into Saturday and then Sunday. As we get into the end of next week, I think this cold air wants to stay just a little further to our north. So keep in mind, we are going to be looking at, better today. I think because we've time of the year, we're all going to be so excited. We're like, come on, give me that sunshine. Give me near 70 degrees today. I don't think anybody's going to complain about that right now. Temperatures are just above the freezing point for most of you. IAH this morning, 33. Brenham right at the freezing point at 32. Tomball just a degree below at 31. Conroe this morning at 28. That is the coldest spot on the map. But otherwise this morning, you have a good mixture of some 30s. Winds are all over, mostly calm. So across the board, out of the southeast, throughout the day today, it's just going to get better and better. A little fog, not out of the question. I'm watching some patchy fog areas areas north of the city. So notice Conroe 5 miles, IH at 6, Sugar Land down to 4 miles. This is not the type of fog, though, that slows you down. I think you'll be A-OK. Those actual air temperatures this morning, for the most part, inside the city, Rice Military at 39, East Downtown at 38. I broadened the scope. Notice on the north side this morning, yeah, we've got a mixture of some 30s and even some 20s. Today, does it get better? I don't know. At noon today, and then by the afternoon, 67. Today is a day for layers, Jen, because at least the sweater early. It is a chilly start, but boy, by the afternoon, you're going to be ready to shed a layer. It's beautiful today.
To be honest, I debated on stockings or.
I know, that's the debate. You're going to be like, okay, am I going to dress for the morning or kind of for the afternoon? Exactly.
And right after summertime, this feels
like, not me, you.
You pay a lot to see those bell bottoms.
But even like Beyonce, Taylor Swift, I mean, he's not the first person who's put on these concerts where the tickets are like, you know.
Crazy.
I know.
And the parents feel the pressure because the kids are like, please, please, please.
Right, I know. Everybody wants to see him. But
especially when there's like multiple days.
Or maybe parents want to see him too.
Yeah, I know. I was like, I know, it's just for the kids.
we gotta be there.
Yeah, you gotta be there. This roller coaster, I mean, we started off the month where the entire first week we were driving in the 80s. And then we are going to end the month with high temperatures, 30s to 50s. Okay, that's a little bit. 30s for your high temperatures this past Sunday and Monday. So what a month, what a week that we have had, but we are going to end it, I think, kind of on an average note. Today actually should be right around average finally. Beautiful shot this morning. Notice visibility is not an issue over Herman Park into the Med Center. So even though I'm going to say, hey, there's a possibility of some fog this morning, it's not really going to impact you a whole lot. No advisory to tell you about. So the weather story, sunny and so nice today. Love that first headline. Next cold front arrives tomorrow evening. That really sets the stage for a hard freeze Sunday morning. So the next time you need to prepare would basically be for Sunday, right at the freezing point on Saturday. So if you do already have your plants covered, maybe just keep them covered because Saturday we will be talking about a freeze, but it's that hard freeze Sunday morning. See how those low temperatures go into the mid-20s and then we build them back up into next week, but it's that hard freeze territory. This morning, 39 in Rice Military. So inside the city, inside Harris County, temperatures above the freezing point. Different story though, from Tomball to Conroe, you're in the low 30s to even upper 20s. Along the coast, Galveston's like, okay, 48, not bad this morning, so enjoy. And then I zoom in down to street level. So if you're not familiar, we have Neighborhood Weather Network. Well, I'm able to survey data and survey conditions right down to street level. So these Tempest weather stations, I'm zooming in this morning into Fort Bend County from Cinco Ranch into Katy. And notice Grayson Lake's at 34. Notice Katy 36 this morning. So even street by street, notice the variation by just a couple degrees of a difference. And that's the thing, right at the freezing point, maybe just a hair above. It's right around that for the morning. By lunchtime today, even if you need the jacket or maybe the sweater early, by lunchtime today, fabulous, beautiful today. Then as we get into the afternoon, you see that. So the next cold snap we have is this upcoming weekend. Think Sunday morning. We're kind of right on the cusp there of some real Arctic air. That's going to hit into the Northeast. I think another wave is going to move in by the end of next week. Maybe it stays a hair above us, so maybe think 30s, and hopefully we can keep the hard freeze away. I tell you what we need right now. We need the rain. Look at this drought. It continues to get worse. This is not good. Areas in southern Harris County, Brazoria, portions of going into Galveston and Chambers at an extreme drought. So we need the rain. Over our next 7 days, not much rain. Saturday, we dip to the freezing point, and then, Jen, it's that hard freeze. But boy, do we need the rain. I don't think we're really going to tap into any until about midweek next week. So we have a stretch of some dry weather again.
Okay.
In the morning, we've got some summer in the afternoon or spring.
We do. I mean, we're nearing 70 from our hard freeze conditions that we really started the week off with. We have another big roller coaster. Have you seen? I'm preparing you now for a hard freeze on Sunday. So even though we're saying, okay, we're nearing 70 today, look at that 25 Sunday morning. This is what I want you to be prepared for as we head into the upcoming weekend. Now, this morning, visibilities have not been an issue so far. Live look from Herman Park into the Med Center, Galveston this this morning into downtown. Beautiful, really nice. I'm watching this carefully because we do have some fog. In fact, Sugarland right now down to about a half a mile. So you're less than a mile with your visibility, meaning between you and the next car in front of you on the southwest side. Notice IAH this morning at 7 miles. Not a big deal, not enough to slow you down. But temperature-wise, we have a good mixture this morning. Some areas are actually below freezing. Brenham 31, Tomball 30 degrees, Pearland at 35. So we have a good morning mixture. Okay, just like Jacob and Alona said, we have a gorgeous layers. I know those kiddos. You tell them, don't lose this jacket, don't lose this sweatshirt that you're leaving with. By lunchtime today, nearing 60. Beautiful, pure sunshine. The afternoon, look at that 68. With this, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, nearing 70. This is all right.
A gorgeous day
Yeah.
on. My whole entire life, I don't think I've known of an individual who owned a kangaroo in this country.
You know somebody's watching right now and they're like, that's my kangaroo.
Crap! There it is.
And did
Somebody
you
said.
want to come forward?
You're like, yeah, you're like, that's mine. You know what I think happened yesterday? That
What do you
kangaroo was like, the sunshine.
sunshine.
The sunshine. He's like, finally, let me out. I
I'm
feel
going
like
back.
everybody was like that yesterday. Everybody was just kind of like, let's play. I think all the kids, even at schools, were kind of excited. Maybe take a layer off. And it'll be like gorgeous day on tap. You know, you are still starting off this morning with sweater weather, jacket weather. Temperatures are down to the and sunshine. We're nearing 70 this afternoon. Beautiful, beautiful Thursday. We do have to get through a little bit of fog, not much, but I'm showing you Sugarland. Sugarland is sticking out less than a mile with that visibility. So 0.8 of a mile saying between you and that next car. So with Sugarland seeing some dense fog, I wouldn't be surprised if we start to see some other areas, but otherwise both airports between 7 to 10 miles, you're really looking good this morning. Let me zoom into Katy. We're down to street level. If you're waking up with us near Cinco Ranch, 37 in Katy. So notice you're not at the freezing point, but areas just by street to street, Lockmere Lane at 34, Wildview Court at 32. Down to street level, it can vary by just a couple degrees. So this morning, sweaters, jackets early, but dress in layers. Layers is the key for today. Notice Galveston at 47. They're like, okay, we are the mild spot on the map, but check out Conroe at 29. So it really matters where you're waking up. I'd say the best bet, 30s this morning, so dress for that, jackets and sweaters, but by the afternoon you won't need it. Let me focus in on these low temperatures. Have you seen that we get cold again for the weekend? Sunday, we are down to hard freeze, that 25 on Sunday. That's what you need to prepare your homes and your plants for. So we're going back to our 4 Ps by the upcoming weekend. We have another bite with some Arctic air. Let me show you, it mainly impacts the Northeast region. So we get through today, even get through tomorrow with a weak front, not much attached to that. Next cold snap arrives this weekend. I paused this on Sunday. I want you to notice here locally, we kind of split the difference. So even though Sunday we're down to the hard freeze, you know, Northeast region of the country, they are going to be back down to single digits and maybe even sub-zero feels like temperatures. Next week, we stay mild. And then another cold snap. Originally, I thought maybe we would get a taste of this. I think it stays to our north. Okay, so hopefully after the hard freeze Sunday morning, that may be it with the hard freeze conditions. Taking a look at January in review, what a mixed bag. We started off with temperatures in the 80s. You remember that the first week of January, and then high temperatures Sunday and Monday were in the 30s. So wow, all over the place. We need rain. We have not seen much rain, and we're not going to see much rain. Our drought actually continues to expand. Notice the extreme drought conditions in the red. This is the first time we're looking at the drought here locally with extreme drought conditions. That was really concentrated from San Antonio into Austin. Lack of rain. Do you see that on the next 7 days? So not much rain, even with, I know, but by midweek next week, I think that'll be our next rain chance. Otherwise, Jen, look at today, near 70 and sunny skies. Beautiful, beautiful for this Thursday. And over to you.
We'll take it.
Today, deep freezing and freezing again. Is it going to be spring-like?
Look at this, test of both worlds, because you kind of mentioned both of those. We are waking up to near freezing temperatures this morning. So I say jacket weather early. You'll at least need a sweater or that sweatshirt But by lunchtime today, you're pushing 60 with sunny skies. Yesterday turned out fabulous, right? Today is going to be a 68. A fabulous Thursday to be expected. Look at this sunrise. Maybe this will put you in a good mood too. Look at all the different colors this morning. Beautiful. This is from the Galleria facing towards the downtown skyline. Visibility is from this vantage point, not an issue. So as far as your weather story goes, sunny and so nice today. Next cold front arrives tomorrow, and then our hard freeze on Sunday. Again, if you haven't seen, we're expected to go down to 25 Sunday morning. Back to those visibilities now. Sugarland down to a mile, but that's really the worst. Everybody else this morning between about 5 to 7 miles. Not enough to slow you down, but maybe you'll notice some low clouds out there. Beautiful this afternoon. We go into the upper 60s under partly cloudy skies. This is the thing, Jen. It's Sunday morning that I'm preparing everyone for. That's when temperatures are expected to be back down to the hard freeze. More about the 4 Ps. Oh, I'll send it over to you. You have a lot going on.
No,
you take it away.
That's important though. The cold surge. Everybody wants to know the details.
Made for love in this economy, it says.
Dang, carpool.
Share your password.
It's getting real.
That's
wow.
romantic.
Jeez.
That
The
is
one
not
day out of the year where
romantic.
you're supposed to be
Yes.
able to like really have it right.
Right.
Well, Tyler says, if you love me, you'll buy me Chanel. So, I mean,
Oh,
it's just
yeah.
transferred to the
Let's
pieces of
put
the
that on
candy.
a heart.
Why is that
I
not
like
on
that.
there? Hire Jen. She'll help you come up with new sayings.
She will. Carpool might be a good
Yeah.
idea today. Is that right?
Now for the hard freeze on Sunday. You know, if you have your plants covered, if you still have your exposed pipes wrapped, I would keep that in place because Saturday morning will be at the freezing point, but it's Sunday morning. Do you see this? That 25 degrees, expecting low temperatures Sunday morning back down into the mid 20s. So that hard freeze. This is all part of this big secondary cold snap that's going to be impacting about 2/3 of the country. Again, the hardest hit areas will be the upper northeast. Notice how we're kind of right on the brink there, but even here locally, that means down to the mid 20s for us. So it is going to be cold. That third cold snap that I've also been watching for the end of next week, this pocket of cold air looks like it's going to stay more to the northeast. So I think after Sunday, the hard freeze, well, yeah, that'll pass. So we'll just be back to kind of some chilly mornings for next week. But in anticipation of this, I want you to take note when I'm expecting this midnight into 9 a.m. Sunday morning. The temps are expected in the mid 20s. So what you need to do, think of the 4 Ps: people, pets, plants, and pipes. Basically what we did this past weekend, you'll do again. There's just no winter precip. There's no chance for ice or snow. It'll just be how cold our temperatures are for Sunday morning. Visibilities. I was watching in anticipation to see if we had a little bit of fog. It really didn't materialize a whole lot. We're down to 3 miles in Sugarland, and we're down to 2.5 miles in Angleton. Both areas I've been watching our temperatures very carefully. We're just above the freezing point. So that freezing fog that maybe we could have had this morning, it's just not materializing much across the board. I would say close to the freezing point early. So chilly, jackets, sweaters early. Today is a day, dress in layers. You know what that means? You know the kiddos are going to get back into the car this afternoon, not have the sweater, not have the jacket. You know, if you have time, label. I sure wish I always did. 68 this afternoon. You're near 70. It is a beautiful Thursday. Gorgeous today. Gorgeous. Get outside and enjoy it. As far as our January in review, we have had all the things this past month. I mean, we started the entire first week off with 80s, and now we're going to end it with high temperatures in the 30s from Sunday and Monday. We kind of split the difference for today. Now, the drought is getting worse. Boy, do we need rain. Do you see how red this is? That's the extreme drought in southern Harris County, portions of Fort Bend, Brazoria, even Galveston. So we need the rain. Over the next 7 days, we don't have a whole lot of rain. Our 7-day forecast is lacking that. Lots of sunshine. Today, I think, is the warmest day. We're pushing towards 70 this weekend thanks to a cold front that arrives tomorrow. Notice we have are nearing the freezing point this afternoon. We're pushing close to 70. It is a gorgeous day today. Check it out though. We drop back down to a hard freeze Sunday morning down into the mid 20s. So keep in mind this weekend we turn chilly yet again. But notice how dry we are. We really need the rain. All right, Jen, I'll send it over to you. I know you're off to a busy start.
Chita.